Players depend too much on Cup and Dead End Lagooning and can use other bots. So this is Freezius. So initially, what do we think of that?
Well, I agree
I'm
because I
like
know
that.
there's way more bots than that for power leveling.
Well, let's say, go on, Freezius, you can go first. Your idea, so you go first.
So, and that's exactly what Tex said is exactly my point. I think that they are, and particularly when we talk about goon coring, that's the biggest issue because I think that every time I look around, I see I see some resistance to anything that's going to interfere with Cup and Dead End Lagoon coring. So, for example, when we came up with, there's a HQ core coming up, it's going to stun all the different bots. Space Ape showed it on their stream, and everybody's like, "Oh man, the end is near." And then there was, when Top Shot and Fireline lost some of their, some of the power, and they was like, "Whoa, well, we use this on Dead End and Cup." And I was like, I think that there's a habit in our community of we kind of get down this tunnel where we just say, "Hey, man, this is the only way to do something," to the point where I was talking about I don't have a 4-star dead end. And I was on Discord, on the VIP Discord, and people felt sorry for me. They was like, "Man, how have you been making it? You're a good player. Like, how have you been doing this? Like, oh my gosh, like I wish I could donate a dead end to you." And I was like, "Dude, it's not that serious." It's like I've got Impactor, I've got Ramjet. Some of these guys I don't even need to use a Goon Core for. Like, I don't use a Goon Core for Impactor. I've used it once, and just happened that weekend that Wozza and I went to war with each other. And I had a good time with him. I was like, but I felt nervous using the Goon Core on him. I'd rather use Amalgamist. Um, when I look at bots like when I look at like Twin Twist and Cola Gun, and I say, well, he can get the job done. I'm cool
Perfect.
with that. When I look at the fact that there is Warrior Stun immunity, and I say, well, I don't care if you put this new power core up there or not. I'm immune to it. I've used Tantrum, who I've shelved. I got Tantrum when FFD first came out. I maxed him out immediately, and then FFD came out, and I said I've got a use for this guy now, and I can make it work because I can go and throw a, a pterodactyl on him and get him more health just in case he gets in trouble. I can go throw a Zori on him and give him more damage to make it go by faster. And it's such a multitude of things that I can do. I just don't understand players clinging to this one bot and saying that's the only way I can compete in large events.
Well, there'll only be one counter, and it's time, right? Like, couple of gooning it's just about time, right? Like, leaderboards are stupid. If you want 100k score lines, 150, 250, it's just time. That was the only reason why Cup really helped. Um, but I totally agree that I use so many bots: Lop, Sea Spray, Twin Twist, Nor. I've got so many power level bots that you don't need a Lagoon, right? That can handle Zone 14 solo. But for the big events now, the big events is the endurance. 3.5 mil, 90k. It's not, it's you don't need Cup.
So here's my sort of take on it, and this is what I think is a key factor to this, yeah? So you guys have both said you level it in zone 14. I
Mm,
level in zone 15.
mm,
Now Impactor is going to time out or not even reach the HQ by that point.
mm.
Laser
Yeah,
Optimus is not going to reach it. Sea Spray is going to die. Do you know what I mean? All these sort of bots will not last it. So I take Cup, Top Shot, Combiner into zone
Yeah,
15. Jump,
couldn't be
jump,
bothered.
jump. Yeah. Take out the area. If I drop it, if it's a combiner, or there's an outpost there, and I put on the pop of that. I drop combiner. Just take them outpost bots out with the combiners. Concentrate on that. Couple take it down. 80% success rate. 1 million XP per battle. So, like you said, with a small bundle, I can get so much XP. It's probably less points because doing like I said, when I do a 37.5k on this next event, whether it's 40k, I'm not really concentrating on points as much. I'm concentrating purely on XP. So from that point of view, there is no other bar. I've used Rhinox or Lagoon. He's good. He's not Cup. Because as soon as you come against a time trap, he's stuck. That's it. You're not Lagoon in that base.
But not just that for you. For someone who's running a combiner, so 15 minutes, right? You are hopefully with Cup smash out 10 battles easy, right? Because you have to account for load times and
Yeah.
it almost it does take longer for the base to fully destroy than you actually killing the HQ, right? So I get that, but obviously not a lot of people are going to want to continuously exhaust all of their combiner ore in an event after they've used it through the week. I mean, look, you have event teams and then we have war teams. So the people who war every day who are not coin.
We're still doing wars during some of these events for people at our level.
I mean, look, at the weekend ones, you can work it in. I could be like, okay, sweet, I'll do one war run with the combiner hot, and then I'll go do some event battles. But I would not intentionally go into zone 15 just with the combiner just to get that extra XP. I'd be I know, but that could be a time constraint as well. Like you just want to get it done.
Yeah.
Maximize the XP per price, right?
Yep, exactly.
And whereas I've got like 6 or 7 solo bots for zone 14, I can just switch out 6 bots. The other bot who has the XP core running, he's still getting the maximum value of zone 14, and I'm spending less, right? But I'm also not sitting on a 240, 500 fuels, wasting it, feeling like I've got to spend it, and that really changed a lot of the pricing point too. I don't need to go chase a Lagoon. I don't need to buy it every opportunity because, when it first came out, it was a once a year thing, right? Golden Lagoons once a year. And I was like, damn, okay, I brought every price point. I was like, this is just the way to go. And then I don't know what happened, but for some reason it just opened the floodgates and go, you know what? Every big event, Golden Lagoon. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's when they play the Shanix. When they put it in the Shanix.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It opened it up so everyone can buy it every single event. But the only 2 things I use my Shanix for is Golden Lagoons and ore. That is it.
You say you're buying ore, and here I am buying combat spark.
I've got.
That's what I was gonna say.
See, I've got 4 mil combat spark.
But I
see,
knew I was talking to.
See, if you're cautious for your combat spark, you've got your Shanix to spend on your ore, so you can use it in events. So you're getting more XP. That's my sort of train of thought, anyway.
But the funny thing is,
and I do want to actually give Wozza a point here because here's the thing. If you have an opportunity to get through an event faster because you got more points in zone 15, and he actually said this, I actually made a video about this recently. He made that point. And I sat there for a second and I had my phone in my hand and I was like, man, he's got a good point. But you want to go get through this thing quicker. And for me, right now, it's fall, it's American football season. I want my Sundays to myself. So if I had an opportunity to go in zone 15 and with Impactor, and he is gonna time out. I used that as an example in that video, and I was like, man, you know what? That's actually a solid point. If I wanted to go use most of the bots that I used in that video, it's something for you to use if you want to go into zone 14, but I think that zone 15 thing actually is a deciding factor. And if you can do that with a 95% rate or more, that's a chance that I'm willing to take.
Not quite 95%. It is a bit lower than that. What I lie. It's like 80% maybe, so like 85, something like that. But
that might be
kind of. But it depends. It all depends. If you're looking for
XP, then it becomes different because 100%. I'm gonna add in some filler bots for XP to make sure that I win. But it's not the leaderboard era. This is the endurance era, so there's a little bit more flexibility.
Yeah. I'm just all about the maximum XP I can get. 100%. That's the only thing on my mind. 100%. So in that sense, for me, this new core has killed a lot of XP. The way I look at it this way, if I'm doing 200 battles in an event, that core has taken off 200 times 500k. That's what it's cost me in XP.
So
200 times 500k XP. So 100 million XP that core is costing me.
So between that HQ core and Mind Wipe on a weekend,
disaster. But that's why I've written a combiner now for that reason.
Yeah.
That So
I mean, but we must admit, right? Like, so that.
Oh, that was the thing for me too. I was listening and I said, "Oh, you got to bring a combiner." Oh man, like I need my ore. So I was like, but I tell you what, I do. You did convince me quite a bit, Wozza. I do think that maybe I got to back down, not all the way, but just
to a
a
sideways.
decent amount. I think for me, it's
Yeah.
turning into one of these.
I think I'm like that. I think maybe there are other options, especially in Zone 14, which most people do leveling. But for Zone 15, there's only one for me. What do you think,
Yeah, so
Tex?
it's a technicality. I'm using a Wozza technicality and going. I know people rely heavily on it, but it just comes down to what's your output? Is your output just reaching your points, or are you after